Let's take a little tour of the cockpit of a Piper Pawnee. A Piper Pawnee's cockpit is about as simple as it can get. On the left side here, you've got your throttle quadrant with your throttle, your mixture knob, which you have to push down and then move forward, and it locks in place, and your carb heat. Your pitch trim is here on the left, and flaps are actually down here on the floor. And there's only two flap settings, 1 and 2. It's two notches of flaps, 1 notch flaps up. Got your fuel quantity and pressure. These are the pitot covers that we use when not flying to just make sure that bugs aren't getting into our static system. I said pitot, I meant static. You got your tow release. That releases it from my side. You got 2 red handles on either side. Those are the emergency door releases for the doors to just pull them off. Remember, this used to be a crop duster, and crop dusters are flying low to the ground, and so they're built to be able to be in an accident and for the pilot to survive. And that's why you're sitting inside of a roll cage with steel tubes. You've got your cylinder head temperature and exhaust gas temperature gauge, left and right magnetos, airspeed, altimeter, set to 2100, vertical airspeed, compass, radio, oil pressure and temperature, stall warning light, tachometer, fuel pump, landing light, nav lights, circuit breakers, master switch, ammeter to see what your battery and your generator are doing, and your start button. I've also got a clock installed there to know what the time is. Something you won't see on most normal airplanes is a pair of rear view mirrors. That's to be able to see behind us, to see what the glider is doing behind us, as well as the tow rope. Because this is an ag plane, in front of it, you have this bar on the outside. That is a fence or telephone line cutter. It's pointed at the edge there, so that way, if in case of an accident, a barbed wire fence won't decapitate you. Okay, and of course, you have to mark where every toe, who did which toe, and how high they went. So we just did 1 toe to 3,000 feet right now. So 3.0. Okay, and then we'll just stow that here. Fill out your tow sheet on the ground. I did it once I did it a few times in the air, and once the air caught it and blew the tow sheets all over the cockpit. So don't do that. Simple stick with a trigger for push to talk button, pair of rudders, and a lot of space underneath. That's where the hopper would go for when there was for when this was an ag plane. That's, you put the all the pesticides in front of the pilot is where they would sit. Okay, and actually at the bottom there, you could see that the landing gear actually has giant bungee cords. They call them shock cords in this case, but that's very common with Pipers. Piper Pawnee, and lots of other aircraft from that era. Very very tough, very sturdy, very easy to maintain, and work really well. It does mean that earlier aircraft like this, when you land them, they can bounce quite a bit because you literally have bungee cords for the shock absorber on your landing gear. And when you're first learning to fly the airplane, you'll definitely bounce it a couple of times.